Now, some of you may wonder why and how do we name our pigs? Well, if they're going to be meat hogs, which means they're going to go off for processing, then we normally don't name them. But if they're going to go based on their size and shape and disposition, if they're going to be breeding stock, then we normally do name them, just so we can keep track of who had pigs and how did they do, and so on and so forth. Well, these two girls right here are sisters. They were born about 2 years ago, and they had their first litter of pigs last summer. The one on my right, her name is Gilberta, and she is about as easygoing and easy to get along with as you'll ever be around. And our boys actually wanted to name her Gilbert, and I reminded them that she was female, and so they said, okay, that's fine, Gilberta. So that's how she got her name. And I asked them why they wanted to call her Gilbert, and they said, well, she just looks like a Gilbert. And I said, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. And this lovely lady right here, her name is Medea. And we named her Medea because she is nice and kind and easygoing. But when she was younger, if any of the other hogs got out of line, her attitude came out, and she would smack you upside your head in a quick minute. And the way she would do that is she would take that big old head of hers. Let me see if I can get around here and get you a picture of her. Yep, that big old head right there, that head that weighs about 50 to 60 pounds by itself. She would take her head and move it as far to the side as she could, and then in a rapid fashion bring it back and slap you with her whole head. She doesn't do as much of that anymore. I guess she's getting older and getting a little bit more calm. But about a year ago, the other pigs that were in this pasture, not Gilberta, she never much would fight with Gilberta, but some of the other pigs that were in this pasture, she was queen bee. Now, if you got out of line, she'd pop you real quick. So we named her Medea because of her generally normal disposition and nice disposition, but her willingness to raise her, in this case, head, and whop you upside yours if you got out of line. And she slapped me one time too with that head. And I'm gonna tell you something, a 600-pound hog that is not happy that you're standing in a certain spot and wants you to move, if she slaps you with that head, you know you need to move. But both of these girls have been pretty good. Gilberta there probably weighs 650, 700 pounds. Medea's a little smaller. She weighs about 625 to 650, but they're both big girls. But yeah, that's why we name our pigs, just so we know who had babies and what the condition was, and we can it helps us keep records. But we also name them because they're with us for a long time, and they all have their own personalities, and they all get along with each other in certain ways, and they're very smart. And yeah, so we name them, and we enjoy being them, and they've gotten to the place they know what their name is, and they'll answer to their name. Like I said, they are ridiculously smart. So anyway, more later.